Hi, everybody. This is David Nevins for CityBiz. Thank you so much for joining us today. And today, our special guest is Dr. Mark Ginsberg, and he is the 15th president of my alma mater, and hopefully many of yours as well, Towson University. Mark, welcome to our program.
Well, thanks, David. A great privilege to be with you. Thanks so much for the invitation.
It's our privilege indeed. And Mark, we are speaking just a couple of days after you were officially installed. I know you've been in the job for several months, but you are now official. And I was unfortunately out of town for your installation. I really apologize for that because I really wanted to be there. How did that go?
Oh, it was great. It was really just an incredibly inspiring day. We had about 1,500 people join us in our basketball arena for just an incredibly inspiring event. People from all parts of our university, from the business and civic communities, from government, and most importantly for me, my family and dear friends who were able to share a very special day.
Well, we are very proud that you are our new leader now, and
thank you, Dave.
Welcome to Baltimore. Welcome to Towson. I know you came here from George Mason, another pretty good institution to our south. So how's it going so far? Let's just start with a real toughie like that.
Well, it's been going great from the first day I walked on campus, actually from before I was even appointed, and had the opportunity to come to campus to just try to experience the Towson way. And walked on campus last summer while the search process was still unfolding. And I just wanted to feel, for me personally, what it was like to be at Towson University. And what I felt was energy, what I felt was passion, what I felt was a sense of this place being very special. And when I arrived last fall, I've been here now for about 6 months. That feeling hasn't stopped, and the experience has just continued to accelerate and be affirmed.
You know, I'm going to add as a quick aside, Mark, as you know, I was on the Board of Regents for over a dozen years. I chaired it for a while as well. And so I've been involved in the hiring of many of our university presidents. And it's interesting that you mentioned that you, I won't use the word you snuck on campus during the search process, but you anonymously visited the campus. And I would say I cannot recall that we've ever hired a president who actually hadn't done that. We've not hired many who hadn't done it, but I don't think we hired any who hadn't done it. So I hope Towson today, now that you are the president, is everything you thought it would be, having visited the campus prior.
Yeah, it's actually even more than I experienced that day, because the energy is just accelerating, and the sense of this being, as I mentioned, a very special place with people who are committed to students' growth and development, faculty who are committed to solve some of the world's greatest challenges and problems, and the staff across all the venues of the university really committed to the success of our students and to the success of the university. And that's a formula that is a winning formula. So I certainly have felt it when I was thinking about joining, but even more importantly, I've continued to feel it since arriving.
Well, I know, and of course, you and I have spoken a number of times, but I know that you've somehow become quite ubiquitous throughout the Baltimore metro area, and particularly Towson. I thought I knew everybody in the metro area, but I think I'm at least a distant second to your activities thus far.
Well, that's part of what I believe every great university is: intimately and integratively, even more importantly, connected to its community. And so from the first day I arrived, I wanted to be sure that we were being sure the trains were running on time on campus, euphemistically, but also that I was involved and visible and an important part of the greater Baltimore community. And so I've really been spending quite a bit of my time both on campus, involved with all things TU, but also in the community with all things regionally. And I think that's really the responsibility of a great university, to try to help to make a great community even a greater place to live and work.
Yeah, I mean, indeed, and keep it up. You know, probably not at quite the same pace as you've been going, but but who knows? So let me ask you, just it's not really fair to say give us your view of the state of the university, but give us a snapshot, if you will, of the current state of Towson University and what we have to look forward to.
Yeah, well, I think the state of the university is really positive. I arrived on October 30th, but at the end of August, I was appointed actually in the early part of August, so began coming to Towson a day or two a week, late summer and into the fall before I arrived full time, and was on campus when our freshman class moved in at the end of August. And one of the things I was aware of before that day, but certainly experienced that day, was the number of students who joined us. And in fact, we welcomed the largest first-year class in the history of the university last fall. And not every university today can say that. So welcoming that many new students and having the opportunity for a growth of the university in terms of its student body is fabulous. And in terms of our student enrollment for next fall 24, we have a surge of applications, the largest number of applications ever received by Towson University for admission. We're in the process now of working with those students who were admitted to the university. And the good part and the scary part is the number of students who have now told us they're coming in the fall is about 30% higher than at the same time last year. So we're thrilled about that, but also now a little worried about how large of a student body we're going to be bringing to campus next fall. So I think that's a particularly important sign. But even more importantly, I think it's the productivity, the faculty, the amount of work that's taking place, the experience of our students. I think the value of Towson, that students come first, is the most important core value of our university. And the core value of students come first means that we're focused like a laser on the experience of our students. And I tell people all the time that it's our job to help students wherever they come to us at point A to help to get them to the point B that they envision for themselves. And this is a place that's been incredibly successful through the years in doing that. And I hope that we never lose our focus and emphasis on being sure that happens. The student experience has to be foremost, as does the work that undergirds that. And it takes a village to be able to do that well.
Well, as you mentioned, both things matter. Quality matters and size matters, as they say too. I was just talking to someone, and I don't know that you're going to know this answer off the top of your head, but I was just talking to someone the other day, and people don't realize the depth, the breadth, and essentially the size and the impact of Towson University. Let's just say compared to University of Maryland College Park, which is obviously also quite a great university on its own. But I was of the view that the number of undergraduate students that we have is almost identical to the number of undergraduate students actually that are at College Park. Now, they're a bigger campus because they have so many additional grad students in a multitude of programs, but I think undergrad size, we're not that far off. Do you happen to know that?
Yeah, we're pretty similar. I think College Park is a little bit bigger than us in terms of undergraduates, but the relativeness of that is real. And really proud that the Wall Street Journal recently actually rated TU to be the #1 public university in Maryland. And in large part, that's because of the student experience of our undergraduates. I have great respect for College Park. I have great respect for the president, Darryl Pines. I've had a long association our family has with the College Park campus. But I think it's a very different experience. A university of 40,000, Towson's university of about 20,000. And part of the DNA of Towson that people are very proud about, we talk about TU pride. One of the things that brings about TU pride, I think, is that we're a big university with a small town feel. We're a big university with all the D1 sports and the Center for the Arts with great productions, with a wide variety of academic programs, as you inferred, from everything from traditional spires of excellence like education and nursing to fabulous computer science and business and other programs that are kind of evolving as we speak. But the experience here is a very intimate one. And so we have many students, I think, who come here who have many options, but what they find is when they get here, that there's a sense of community. And the sense of community is a very important factor, I think, in helping students to succeed. Plus, as you know, it's an absolutely beautiful campus.
Yeah, the photo behind you of Stevens Hall.
Yeah,
I'm a little embarrassed to say because I like to keep my age quiet, secret, but it was yeah, both of us. But it was let's just say 50 years ago or so that actually I arrived on campus and was in that building. For the first time. And interestingly, a few years after I graduated, and I think, as you know, I for a while was the assistant to the president at Towson, and later I was the marketing director. And you talked about the student experience, and we actually in those days in the Chronicle of Higher Education, we ran ads for faculty members that said, if it's something like the following: if you're interested in publish or perish, do not apply to be a faculty member at Towson University. Now I know 40 some years have passed, and now we are very heavily involved in great research at the university too. But I'd love to hear you talk about the student experience still being first and foremost.
Yeah, well, we have our faculty are very productive in terms of their scholarship, their research, their work in the creative arts are all very important. But I think that's in the service of the learning of our students. I want our students to be around faculty who are on the cutting edge of their fields. But the emphasis has always been here. And as I've come to the university, my commitment is to be sure that the university's emphasis remains on teaching and learning and the growth and development of our students. That's job number one. That's our core value. That's the first and foremost emphasis of what we do. And research, scholarship in the creative arts only, I think, allows our faculty to be able to do that in a more contextualized, if you will, and a very contemporary way. And so I'm very proud about that. I try to eat in the dining hall a couple of nights a week with our students. And I was in the dining hall the other night with a group of students. And I said to this young group, they're all freshmen, actually, just by chance sitting at a table. I walked up and said, actually, they called me over. The students all called me over now. And I said, well, tell me, if you were president for a day and you could change one thing about Towson University, what would that be? And they thought for a minute. And one student said, I don't know. Can I get back to you? Because I love it here.
That's great.
I said, well, what do you love about it? And she goes, well, I've made great friends, and look who's sitting around me, these great friends I've made, but I love my classes, and because I find my professors care about me. That's what she said. I'm not making stuff. I almost can't make it up. I really love it because I know they care about me, and what a great testimony to what an education should be at a major public university in our country. That's the way it ought to be, and I'm really proud that's the way it is here.
Yeah, that's really, it's wonderful to hear. I think that's, the differentiating factor, if you will, between
Sure.
Towson and so many other large universities that,
Right.
are probably a little less personal,
Yeah.
For example. So let's talk a little bit about excellence. I know that you're all for it, and I know that Towson has several areas of excellence that it's very proud of. Would you share a few with us?
Well, the traditional spires of excellence, going back to when you were here, and by the way, with Stevens Hall in the background, you're right. These are the oldest buildings on our campus. But if you were to look right above Stevens Hall to its right, you would find the newest building on campus that opens actually in about 10 days, the new College of Health Professions building, which is a huge, unbelievably beautiful, but more importantly, productively and carefully designed facility for the health professions. So even though education and nursing may have been the traditional spires of excellence, today we train more health professionals at the undergraduate level than any other institution in the state. Our cybersecurity program, training students to be deeply involved in a field that's so important to not just the security of our organizations, both here in Baltimore and around the country, but also to the success of organizations, as well as computer science. Many of our students going into the information technology field, and very, very high level education in those fields. Our work in the arts, we have, I think, one of the best programs in the state in music, theater, and dance. And so I want to almost shout out, if I could, the value and the importance of the creative arts. And certainly during COVID, many of us learned that the creative arts bring meaning to our lives, and have students who are training and educating themselves to be in those fields are important. But then I'd say overall, our students who are in the liberal arts, in one of the largest fields on our campus is psychology. And boy, we sure know today we need more and more people who understand what psychology is about and are going to be mental health practitioners. And we train literally scads of individuals who are going into those fields. So I'm very proud that the traditional areas of excellence at the university continue to be excellent, but some of the new and evolving fields also have grown here in proportionality to the traditional fields in terms of the quality of their programs, the faculty who are here, and the depth and breadth of the training that's provided.
Well, Mark, you are, I truly believe this. I mean, you're an amazing addition to Towson University, and I've been involved and watching it for almost 50 years. So let's keep it up. I want to give you the last word, maybe, to talk about any special plans you have for the university, something we can have to look forward to.
Well, I say to a lot of people, my job, it's a simple one, but it's a complex one. It's to make a great university greater. And how we do that, I think, is very important to do in a way that embodies the spirit of the historical traditions of our university, but also moves forward, that we continue the best of what is and engender the best of what could be. And I have this little bit of a crazy belief that the best leaders are actually the best listeners. And so I've embarked on an opportunity to meet with every member of the university community, having an opportunity to meet with. We have over 55 meetings scheduled this semester alone on campus with student, faculty, and staff. I'm on a tour of every county in Maryland, meeting with alum and business and civic leaders from every county in the state. We're going to the parts of the country where we have a nexus of alums. As you know, we were together in a meeting in Florida recently. And I think one of the themes that I've been hearing, and one of the areas I think it's so important, is that we continue to be an engine of opportunity, an engine of workforce development, an engine of innovation. And I think we need to do that in a variety of ways. We need to provide access to students who otherwise might not have been able to afford a college education, might not even have seen themselves at a university, from Baltimore City, from Baltimore County, from DC, from the entire region. We need, I think, to bring people to our campus who advance what we believe to hold dear, and that's to advance inclusive excellence, to continue to believe that that's a principle that's important for our university, but also important to be sure that our student body is a student body that represents the country of today and the country of tomorrow. So we want to be engaged. I want to be engaged. We want to continue to grow. We want to continue to bring new fields to the university that are evolving and refine, and continue to be sure that the fields of study that are here are at the highest quality possible. And I have a great belief that this is a great university, and I have even a greater belief that in time and over time, with you and other alum and the entire Towson community, we're going to together make a great university even greater.
I have no doubt we will do that. You're very kind, and I can't wait to continue to see the growth and the advancement of Towson University and the Tiger athletic teams. And
go Tigers.
Really, Mark, keep up the good work. I look forward to being with you again soon. I
look forward to seeing you before long. Look forward to that, and go Tigers.
Absolutely, we will indeed. This is David Nevins for City Biz, and our guest today has been Dr. Mark Ginsberg, president of Towson University. Mark, again, thank you so much for your time, and keep up the fantastic job at Towson University.
Oh, thanks
and
so
thank
much
you for watching. And thank you for watching.